All right, so I got my first set of SmartWings smart blinds, and I'm gonna show you how to install them, kind of go over the features and stuff. The main reason I got them because they're relatively affordable, and at least compared to like Lutron and some of the higher end blinds. And they had good reviews, and some YouTubers I watched, they use them, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So here's what comes in the box. You get the blinds, of course. This is enormous. This is a cellular shade is what it's called. You can't really see it until it's opened up. How I chose my color, I had to order the samples because it's hard to tell when you're online. But I got the a dual cellular shade. This top one is sheer white, and the bottom one is blackout wheat. So here's what a sheer would look like. You can kind of see through it, but it still blocks some light. And then blackout would completely block out all the light. So that's what I went with. It comes with 6 screws, at least for the really wide ones, 3 of these mounting hardware pieces. To pop these out, you just push and lift. So this is what the hardware looks like. You got 2 screws on the top if you're gonna top mount it, 2 screws on the back if you're gonna back mount it. Cool. And then to get them back in, just kind of push and it locks in. Here's the antenna. I got a Z-Wave version, so that's the wireless protocol that it uses. And I'm gonna hook this into Home Assistant, which is my home automation software of choice. Probably 99% of the time, people are gonna buy these with a battery built in. I opted for hardwired, so mine does not have a battery. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook this up. I'm gonna chop this plug off, run it through my wall into my main electricity. So if you do get the battery powered version, here's where you charge, USB-C. Here's where I plug in my power, and picking the colors is kind of hard on their website unless you can actually see the fabric. So I bought I bought a lot of the fabric samples. So at the end of the video, I'll tape them all to the window so you can kind of get an idea of what each one looks like. If you're gonna get this specific type of shade, I think NOWA is the version, Nowa, dual blind, you have to pick from these guys here. Again, I'm gonna put them on the window later. I almost went with the dual roller shade, so the ones that roll down, and I was gonna pick these 2 colors. I think they look nice. So this is like a sunscreen, so you can still see through it. And then this blackout, which has a nice pattern, completely blackout. One of the features this type of shade has over a roller shade. So roller shade would roll down, this one would be up, you could roll this down. You can roll this back up, and then you have half and half. So the bottom you can see through, top you can't. But there's no way to make the top see through and the bottom not. You can't do this because this one won't go down that far. But with these dual cellular shades, you can do that. And if you had the battery powered ones, you can buy the solar panel separate or with it, but you would hook the solar panel up right behind the top of the blind so you wouldn't see it very well, but it would charge it all the time and you wouldn't have to charge it with USB-C every few months. Let's hook it up. Most people would probably mount it flush with the outer edge of the wall here. I thought about doing that, but I kind of my wife wants to sit in here and read. So I think we're gonna go all the way back here. Well, about an inch from the end. All right, and the last blinds I installed, I edge mounted them. And if you look here, there's a magnet. Most houses, you're gonna have metal here because the drywall, you wanna have a very sharp edge. And this stuff is called, what is that called? Corner bead, I think it's called. Yeah, so if you're gonna drill this close to the edge, one of your screws will probably hit that metal. You might need a drill, like a metal drill bit to go through there and then put your screw through. That's not fun. Let's fit this in here. So there's that. Now I'm gonna mark it with a pencil.
Look at the cat.
Now, here's my beautiful marks. There's that one, that one, that one. So this is how I'm gonna do it. Actually, the first one I'm gonna mount through is this front screw because it gives you a little wiggle room to line it up. So, see, you can go. Okay, I can already tell I'm gonna need a drywall anchor. Okay, first one down. Now to snap it in. This one, just an antenna, I think it's fine. This one's my wire that I'm gonna hook up to electricity, so it needs to be hanging off the back. The way you hook these in, the front lip is gonna hook to the plastic up here, and then you're gonna rotate it until you hear a click. That's pretty much it. So let me do that. Hook it in. Okay, that one's locked. That one's locked. Last one here. Now they're locked. So now I'm gonna pop it back off, push it. There we go. Now that we know everything's lined up, I am going to do some drywall anchoring. I'm gonna drill some holes, some pilot holes, hammer these little guys in, and then put the screw inside of these. 2. There we go. This little light blocker up here, that's nice. The sides, we have a little tiny gap. These look like they're sticking out right there. That's how they're supposed to be. There you go. All right, here's the remote I went with. 10 channels, 0 through 9. I have channel 1 set up to this blind over here. L1 means the lower blind is gonna go down. H1 means the higher blind will go down. Stop it at any time. Up, up. I also increased the speed. It has 3 different speed levels. I went up to the highest speed, so it's a little louder, but it's faster. Go over to L2, be the lower blind 2. Then H2. That'll give you a sense of the speed and the noise if I be quiet here. Stop. So up, down, stop, change blinds, left, right, and then this little button switches from the high and low shade. This would be 1, this would be 2, and 0, I set these 2 up in a group. You can look at the manual on how to do that, but it's pretty simple. So if I go down with the lower blind or shade, they go down in sync, go down in the higher one, go down in sync, you can stop them. Also, I set up a favorite for each of those blinds, so you can set up a favorite position. If you're in group mode, if you hold the stop button for 2 seconds, it will go to your favorite position. So I set it up to go like privacy on the bottom, let some light in on the top. So if I hold this while in group mode for 2 seconds, it'll go to my favorite position on those 2. Let that finish. And there you go, you got privacy on the bottom, let some light in on the top. And then if you ever want to go back up, just press up, up. All right, let's just look at what the full blackout looks like. So I'm in the group mode, lower shade, go down. All right, so that's blackout. I should probably move this shade over a little bit because it looks like the gap on this side's a little bigger than that side, but I'll do that later. And then if I want to go with the upper shade go down, press the down arrow for HO. And that's the basics of the remote. I probably won't use this very often because I'm gonna hook, I've already hooked these blinds up into Home Assistant, so I'll use my phone most of the time. So I used Z-Wave on these and connected them to Home Assistant so I can control them from my phone. And stop, down, stop. Eventually I'll put some automations on this so when it's too bright outside and we turn the TV on, it'll close that shade so it doesn't put a glare on the TV. But I will work on that later. So that's the basics. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer them. Thanks.